WSB.com. Hello, and good morning, listeners. It's Aaron Harris at WSB.com. Today I turned on my TV and thought, we all grew up amazed by this invention, the television. To this day, the science of bringing to life fantasy, human emotion, and wonder is still taking us to new peaks every day. In the beginning, the television landed with a big boom, and people have been stuck on the device ever since. It soon became a commodity. The Warner Brothers has been a primarily dominant name in the newly found business. Which brings me to my topic today, the release of the documentary, The Brothers Warner, on Blu-ray. First released in 2008, The Brothers Warner has now made it to the shelves of your local movie vendors. After purchasing the DVD, please place it inside of a safe in your home, as it is a piece of American history. Today, I have a special guest. This is an amazing woman who had the inspiration to create a vision for everyone to see. She is the producer and director of the Brothers Warner documentary, also a member of the Warner family and the sole heir of the Warner legacy. It is my honor to bring here with me Miss Cass Warner Sperling. Hi, good morning, Miss Sperling. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm excellent. Good to have you here today.
Thank you.
How's the weather there in your area?
Oh, absolutely perfect.
Well, that's good to hear. It's a sunny day here in Las Vegas also.
Oh, good.
It's a complete honor and a pleasure speaking with you today, and we can't thank you enough for being here at WSB.com, Ms. Sperling.
Well, my pleasure.
I just want to ask you, during the writing and production of the Brothers Warner documentary, did you, which I'm sure you did, know that the floodgates for the movie enthusiasts would be broken? How did you prepare for the media response?
I didn't. I just made the film I wanted to make independently, doing all the things independent producers do, scrape all the money together and somehow make it happen. Following the family tradition originally, making a film that I was passionate about, am passionate about, and I'm passionate about their story because I think it's such a great saga, such a great example, of guys who came from nothing and wouldn't quit until they got to their dream, which, the odds against them were so huge, but they just kept on going. And the thing that was really inspiring to me was that any challenge that they ran up against, any barrier, became an incentive for them to do the next thing. They had this line that if they were told they couldn't do something, they knew they were on the right track.
Yeah.
That's a philosophy of life that if there's one thing that I can communicate in my film, it's to remind people that it takes hard work, it takes persistence, it takes just never giving up, no matter what the situation.
It's like the old saying, if you don't get it right the first time, try, and try again, right?
Yes, exactly.
Being in the era of reality TV, how could you not be interested in a documentary on the Warner Brothers themselves, especially created by Cass Warner Sperling herself? The whole concept just draws people in. Miss Sperling, being a young girl during this time, this was sort of a life story for you also. You did practically grow up in the Warner Brothers studio, is that right?
Yes, I did. I was incredibly fortunate. My father was a writer-producer and worked on the lot, Melton Sperling, and I used to get to go with him every Saturday because they worked 6-day weeks back then, which was lucky for me because it was better than going to the circus. Let me tell you, it was really, to have the privilege. Not many people got on the lot at that time except those who were shooting the film. Mm. And so, or making, behind the scenes making the film. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So to be able to wander, into the sound stages and watch that magic happening was really, really something.
Truly amazing. Now, you produced and released the Brothers Warner documentary through your own production company. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Warner Sisters.
Warner
Warner
Sisters.
Sisters.
That's
Yeah,
great.
Warner Sisters is alive and well. After my book came out, The Brothers Warner in 1993, I went, okay, I've acted, I've written scripts, now I've written a book. It looks to me like producers are the ones that really make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started Warner Sisters and started to collect, projects that I wanted on my slate, and feel incredibly honored to have all of Howard Koch, the writer of Casablancas, and produced screenplays, novels, etc., because he became like family when I was researching, doing my research for the book.
Mm-hmm.
And then, finding other stories that really resonated with me, like A Shade of Gray, which I call my To Kill a Mockingbird story, because it's told through the eyes of these young friends. One's white and one's African American in 1943 in Oklahoma, when the common enemy was Hitler, and how their world changes from our insane, prejudiced indoctrination.
Yeah. Along with the film documentary, can readers actually get a hardcover or paperback version of the movie The Brothers Warner?
Yes, the book is called The Brothers Warner.
Okay.
I changed the title. Originally was Hollywood Be Thy Name, the Warner Brothers story, but someone took that title for another book and people were confusing it. And then I thought it'd be easier for people to remember. It's just The Brothers Warner, the book and the DVD.
Was it always a goal for you to carry on the Warner Brothers legacy?
My first goal was to be a mother. And while I was being a mother, I have 4 wonderful children and 3 wonderful grandchildren. I wrote the book, in between taking care of my children.
Yeah.
Then after the book came out, it became, obvious to me that if I want, and really what my love was filmmaking. And my kids were old enough for me to start to do my own career, and that was really where Warner Sisters and the writing and the producing and all that came into play. Yes.
Now, the choice of the cast in the documentary is prestigious. The film itself has already won 6 awards. You have Dennis Hopper, Debbie Reynolds, Tab Hunter, just to name a few. What drove you to use these prominent actors and actresses rather than other individuals?
Well, Dennis calls Warner Brothers, where he's an alumni, because that's where he went to college. He was that old when he was at Warner Brothers.
Wow.
And he had given me a wonderful interview for the book. And so when I knew I was doing the documentary, he was one of the first people I contacted, and he was thrilled. He was such a wonderful interview and such a gentleman, and God, it was just great to sit across from him. And I have many hours of footage that I didn't use in the film. So on my website, my Warner Sisters website, I'm actually selling the whole interview of Dennis Hopper, the whole interview of Sherry Lansing, et cetera, Debbie Reynolds.
Okay.
I thought, people might want to see that because they're just so wonderful.
And is that website warnersisters.com?
Yes, it is.
Okay. What is the message or feel you want people to have after viewing the Brothers Warner documentary?
Oh, I want them to be inspired, by the courage and the hard work and tenacity and passion that, these pioneers, these guys had for their dream and their goal, and be inspired, to realize that it takes, one step at a time to get to a big goal, and to never give up. You know, it's like things that we're in some tough times, and